folks, what's up? I just finished transcribing Robben Ford's song Rose of Sharon, and I thought I'd share it with you guys really quickly, because not only is Robben Ford a major badass on guitar, as always, but he always also manages to put in a couple extras in terms of harmony, or how many bars he puts into a section, or a little trick on guitar that takes his compositions just somewhere else. So his vibe's always a little bit more, you can call it interesting or sophisticated, but there's always just a few extras that really take his music, for my ears, to a place that's really fresh and interesting. And he very rarely sticks to like the three blues chords and stuff like this. So I thought I'd share it with you guys. And what I just played was the intro, which is also the main guitar riff. And I must say that I took my information, what I heard, and what I'm going to show you from two sources, which is first his studio recording of the song Rose of Sharon, and second of all, he also has there's also a trio live video up on YouTube where you can watch his fingers closely and you can see some of the chords you were maybe not able to hear on the recording, or some of the voicings that he uses. And that's always a big help for me if I'm trying to figure out a certain song of the guitar player. I'm going in and I'm trying to find live versions, and I'm trying to look at the fingers, pause the video, zoom in if I have to, whatever I have to do to figure it out. If my ears aren't sharp enough for that chord or whatever, I figure it out however I can. Okay, so the first thing, the cool thing about that intro and the main riff of the tune is this that half step that he opens up that riff with, which is the first really cool thing. So we played it on the 5th fret of the G string. We have the note C, right, and which is a half step from the note B, which is the 3rd of the G chord. That whole thing is in G, in key of G, and we use our thumb to keep the pulse, to keep the bass in the thumb steady, and we use our fingers to play that riff on top. So empty G string, and then we just play the D string and the G string in the 3rd fret like that. So and then he throws in, and I could see that in the live recording very clearly, he throws in those couple notes here on top to complete the riff. And the second time around, he drops the G to the F, so outlines very clearly the G7 chord here. So, and that's a little tricky here, and you have to get used to it. I'm sure a bunch of you guys even have to get used to still playing anything with your thumb, which I can just recommend, which is a great thing to just get some extra bass notes in here whenever you need them, and you still have all your 4 fingers of your left hand free to do something else. Alright, so that's the intro, and also the verse starts like this. We have 4 bars of the riff. This time in the verse he plays it 1 time each bar, like that. And in in bar 5, 6, and 7, he has other chords. Leading up to that, on beat 4 in bar 4, he plays this chord, which is a G chord with a B in the bass, going to just a standard E minor chord, held for one whole bar, and he lets the bass descend while he is holding the E minor. And then he comes with this chord, which is really, really cool. It's like that. It is a B-flat triad, you can say like that, a B-flat triad over E flat. But what is that then? So that is actually an E flat major 7 chord, and it comes from this chord. You guys might all know this. This is like the standard voicing for a major 7 chord, but we leave the pinky off, and therefore we get the F in here, which makes it a really nice open chord. And this chord is actually stolen from the key of G minor. So we were always kind of in the major, G major kind of thing, but this chord is stolen from the key of G minor. And he follows it up with a C7-9 here. And then a B flat 6-9 chord. And the same for the C6-9 to complete those chords. And I don't know if you have noticed, we have 4 bars of the riff and then 3 bars of those chords, which makes 7 bars for the total form before the G riff comes again, and that's a really cool trick. So what did he do here? He threw in an extra chord that's from the minor, G minor tonality, and he shortened the form by 1 bar. Makes it super interesting, makes it open, you don't expect that, and yeah, this is part of the vibe of this tune. Okay, so let me play for you just the verse complete. Alright, and then there's the bridge, and the bridge has a bunch of chords that I'm just going to show you first, and then I'm going to play through them. So also the bridge is a part that has 7 bars, and he plays those chords. Okay, here we go again slow. I'm going to play it one more time and then I'm going to explain to you guys. Alright, so the first chord of the bridge is a C7 sus9 chord, or you can say it's a B flat triad with a C in the bass, which is basically probably how you would write that chord down, because you want players to pick it up and play it in this voicing. And he moves it up a whole step, and it becomes a C with a D in the bass, or a D7-9 sus chord. And And then he's playing this chord that we already know from the verse, which is a B major 6/9 in terms. I didn't explain it all the way right, so in case I didn't show it all the way right. So you have basically the root here, and then you have these three notes here. And if you want, for this voicing, with your pinky you can always hammer on the third here. Yeah? And then he moves that same chord voicing, and that's also a cool trick that he does. By keeping the voicing the same, this chord now, all of a sudden, so we come from here, it sounds great even though it's an A flat chord, which in the key of G should sound horrible, right? But he manages to mold them together, and in this case, the bridge, from one chord to the other is that the voicing is the same. So our ear follows that harmonic structure that's parallel, right? So we just move this around in a parallel way, and our ear got tricked. Now we can all of a sudden we can play an A flat chord, and it sounds great. So then he goes up to the A minor chord, which is in the key of G. We are fine with that. A minor 7. I play it like this, right? To the B. Then he plays the B minor 7, which we are also fine with. It's in the key. And then for the C7 chord that follows next, you can either play this voicing, which is, you know, a little variation of the sus chord. So you basically move your first finger back to the E from like that. So you don't have a sus, you don't have an F in there, but you have an E. But I think you could probably also play the regular C7/9 chord here that a lot of you guys probably know. Okay, where are we? Last bar of the bridge has the E major 7 add 9 chord again. And then the last chord of the bridge here, I would play it like this, which is also basically a D sus. Like that, and even though nobody really plays that voicing, and I also couldn't see him play that voicing live, I think that's probably the chord that the organ plays and the recording, something like that, and it leads back very beautifully to the verse and to the main riff. Okay, so I'm gonna try to play all those chords continuously, and let's see how that sounds. So alright, that's it. That's the whole song. And again, just to repeat, the two cool things I really got from all this is this, you know, open this, the opening riff with this half step makes it really cool. Oh, and then also the verse and the bridge are 7-bar parts. So that's how he breaks it up, and he steals one chord from the minor tonality and also moves another chord parallel around, so to trick our ears, throw that chord in there, sounds great, but it doesn't belong to the key. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if you got any questions, and till next time.